and what's for me is mine. I'm a whole lot of woman.
Hey ladies, I'm the host of the Whole Lotta Woman Podcast. I created this podcast to build a community of women that can talk about relatable topics and discuss leveling up together, as well as sharing our life stories so that the next generation can learn from our mistakes. You know, they're going to have to learn the hard way with a lot of things, but lessons that we weren't taught, that we had to learn the hard way, let's just go ahead and let them know ahead of time so at least they can recognize before they walk into certain situations. And that's basically what the whole premise of the podcast itself is about. But to tell you about me, like I said, my name is Nikita Chantel. I'm originally from Durham, North Carolina. I'm 36. I'm a Libra. I went to Johnson C. Smith University and got my bachelor's degree. I graduated in 2007. And then I got my master's degree at Apex School of Theology in 2012, where I got my master's in Christian counseling. So, but I don't work in the field at all. I actually do IT in the banking field right now. So, and I love that as well. But I still have my passion to help people and talk to people. So that's where like the social work and the counseling still is in my heart. So far, we have 2 episodes, and you can stream those on Apple, Anchor, Spotify, and Amazon Music. So please go check out those 2 episodes and leave feedback. You guys can leave a voice message on the, if you go to the link in the description, it's going to be a little box that says message, and you can hit that and leave me a voice message. Let me know what topics you guys want to talk about, or hear about, and let me know what you think about what we discussed. Do you have any stories you want to tell that could be played on the episode or here on the YouTube page? Just let me know. Reach out to me. I would love to hear from you ladies. So I'm really excited about this journey. I started that podcast also to help me step out of my comfort zone. I'm shy, but I'm not shy. I'm one of those people that if you know me, I don't shut up. But I do have a problem with public speaking and having all eyes on me, stuff like that. I really don't like a lot of attention like that. So I built this podcast because I am on my level up journey, and I just want to be the best woman I can be. I want to be a whole lot of woman. Oh, and speaking of that, so it's a whole lot of women. We focus on 4 major traits that I feel make women a whole lot of women, because it's not about your size. I'm 5'2", I'm 100 pounds, so it's definitely not about size when I say whole lot of woman. What it's about is your beauty in and out, your brains, your strength, and your standards. That's what makes you a whole lot of woman. And I want to build a community and a sisterhood of women that want to be the best women they can be. They want to level up as far as their standards. They want to show that they are beautiful inside and out. They're not superficial. Our women have substance, you know, along with the beauty. We have brains. We have standards. We don't fall for anything. We're independent, but, you know, we do have a man at the same time. So a whole lot of women comes in all shapes and sizes, and I just really think that's what this world needs and this generation needs at this time, to be honest. So every woman is not acting like a city girl. I love my city girl. Shout out to JT and Young Miami. But I'm 36, so I have to carry myself a certain way to be treated like the way I want to be treated, which is like a grown 36-year-old woman. And I just hang, and I also hang with a lot of women that carry my same ethic and my same morality code, and we're just all on the same page as far as what we want for ourselves in the future. We all have goals. We all have education. We all strive to be the best us, best version of ourselves. We all have ambition. And I just want to link with other women that have that same drive, because it's only up from here. And so to start, I'm going to catch you guys up with the first episode. So the first episode, I got my iPad right here. So in the first episode, we discussed the feminine journey. And in each episode, we break it down into 4 segments, which would be the beauty, brain, strength, and standards. So we focus on the topic, but then we didn't break it down into those 4 things. So as far as the beauty aspect of your feminine journey, I discussed the importance of your appearance and presentation and how important it is to present yourself well at all times and groom, things like that. But I focused on every day when you're not going to work, when you're not going to church, when you're not going to a specific place, that's when you're running your errands and stuff like that. So how people usually just throw on anything and don't really care about how they look, because you thinking, I'm just running to Walmart, I'm just running here or there, but you don't know what opportunities you could come across, you don't know what men you could come across, or women, you just don't know what opportunities you could be shutting down for yourself because you just don't even look like you're put together, that you care about yourself or respect yourself. So I just talked about, instead of throwing on the biggest sweatshirt you could throw on that's out of shape or dirty, just put a nice little t-shirt on, some nice jeans. You don't have to do too much. I'm not saying you have to walk around in high heels and stuff like that, but it's just a different look. I called it casual versus convenient. So convenient is what you see on the floor, what you could just pull out of this pile over here, versus casual, which is a functional outfit, but it's still cute. You still run your errands in it. The little 2-piece sets, leggings, top leggings, a little hoodie or something like that. But it's just different. You'll get it. Like, listen to the episode and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, and you'll recognize it when you're out and about. So, and you'll recognize it in yourself when you're trying to pick out something to wear when it's time for you to run your errands. So I was saying how I'm paying more attention because I was the one that I'll just grab something real quick. I'm going here, I'm going there. It doesn't matter. I don't plan on seeing anybody, but you don't know who's going to be there. Even when you're across the street, you don't know who's across the street. Single women. It could be the finest dude you would ever see that you would love for him to holler at you, and you in your pajama pants or your scrubs, and you just know you're not giving the way you can give. We all know when we're like that. You got your bonnet on. It's just not the look to be like, oh, he's not going to approach you. He's not going to approach me when with how I'm presenting myself. So we talked about that. I talked about how women in relationships don't get so comfortable in a relationship that you don't present yourself as feminine to your man, or when you guys go out, you don't feel the need to dress up, or not even dress up, look decent, because you already got your man, so you don't need to do anything else about it. I said the reason you don't want to get comfortable like that is because you want your man to be proud when you guys are out, and if you run into somebody from his past. So if he's introducing you to one of his friends from college, you want to be cute, you want to be on point. You don't want to be looking sloppy, having on a stained t-shirt, the shirt you slept in last night, your hair still tied up, or it's all over your head, just no effort put in. You didn't brush it, you didn't do anything, and you run into him, and of course the guy's gonna be nice and stuff like that, but what is he finna go back and tell the crew, the people that knew your boyfriend back in the day? What is he gonna say about his new girlfriend? You don't want the narrative about you to be, she look bummy, she look a mess, I don't know what he doing, what's going on with him, but his woman was definitely not like the girls he had back in the day. So you don't want to run into his ex-girlfriend or baby mama or something like that, and you're not giving. You know how we are, ladies. You know how we are. So you always want to give when you can give, and based on the situation. Not saying wear high heels to Walmart. I'm not saying you got to get fully dressed. What I'm saying is put some effort into what you wear to Walmart. That's all you got to do. You can wear jeans and a V-neck top. Just make sure it look good. Make sure it's fitting. Make sure it's clean, not dirty. Things like that. Put on a bra. It makes a difference. Brush your hair. Take your bonnet off. It makes a difference. So the next thing I discussed was the same thing about the airport. You get all kind of looks at the airport. People dressing for business, people dressing looking like they rolled out the bed, girls looking like they at the club. You never know what you're gonna get at the airport. So I was saying focus on presenting yourself in a way that you're going to be respectable, but you're still comfortable. Stop dressing for the nap that you're going to take on the plane, because the whole trip is not about the little nap. That whole day is not about the nap you're getting on the plane. You're going to go by thousands of people in your airport. You're going to go by thousands of people in the airport when you land. And you walk around with big old sweatpants on, or sleep pants on, an oversized shirt, a bonnet. Why? Because the plane ride was only 2 hours or 5 hours or something like that. But you are never going to be around this many people again. And so if you single girl, think about how many people you just turned away. How many suitors that could have been hollering at you. So think about that. You have to think about it. And then when it comes to these girls trips, sometimes when you get off the plane, you ready to hit the ground running. And you might leave from a little small town where it really doesn't matter what you have on. But if you going from a small town in Mississippi to Miami, you still landing in Miami. You need to be ready for Miami when you get there. Because when you get off that plane, it might not be time to go to the hotel yet. You might have to take you and your luggage to Wet Willie's for a little bit. And in Miami, they real superficial. They might not even let you in. And then your girl's going to be mad at you, especially if you're the only one that's looking like that and you holding up the fun. So just put some effort into it. I always have a little airport look, which might be some leggings and like a matching top to go with it. Like, you know, the 2-piece sets you might get from Fashion Nova or something like that. Or my leggings, a nice fitted top, and like a jean jacket and sneakers, clean sneakers, not some busted old Air Force Ones or some raggedy shoes with some holes in it. Look presentable, because I was saying how in America, we already perceived as lazy and just not up to par. We're real casual. I'll say that. Americans are perceived as real casual from other countries. So when they're getting off their plane from Europe or Paris, anywhere, and they see a girl with a scarf on and her pajama they see a woman with her scarf on, her pajama pants on, she laid out, she got a blanket and her scarf, and you sitting there for the next 2 hours because you're waiting on your plane, they just get a different perception of America. Like, this is what they thought. I'm not even going to say they get a different perception. This just verifies what they thought about Americans. Like, we lazy. We can't even put on clothes to go to the airport, to go somewhere. We out in public looking like this. That's not what you want to give. Let's just change that. So, let's see. The next segment I talked about was the brains segment. And we focused on setting goals and delivering on those goals. So, I was saying how you should break it down into prerequisites. Like, so if some goals already come with prerequisites, which is like a mini goal that you have to meet the major goal. So if you're going to college, you have to pass these classes to graduate. If you're in high school, you got to get this grade on the SAT, and you have to have a certain GPA to graduate. So small goals to reach the big goals, because you had to pass all those classes to make this, to make that. So I was saying, if your goal already doesn't have a lot of prerequisites, make some, or doesn't have any. So things like, if you want to start a business, get your business license, tax ID, things like that. Small goals, order your inventory, save the money, accounting. All those things could be set up as small prerequisites to help you before your grand opening. So whatever your goal is, just break it down and take it step by step, so it doesn't seem so overwhelming at one time. That's all you have to do. And I mean, I know I'm making it seem like, girl, that's all you got to do. But it is when you break it down into smaller things instead of just taking on one huge task and just being overwhelmed by the whole thing and it sounding like too much. The next thing I talked about was the strength portion of it. Was a strength segment. So we talked about unhealthy relationships, and my key gem in that was protect your space. And when I say that, it's about setting boundaries for the people around you, nobody's going to protect your space like you're going to protect your space. So if you have friends that constantly try you, say slick stuff, disregard your feelings, you don't have to stay friends with those friends, because they're obviously not there for you as a true friend, because they wouldn't do that. And if they don't know how to be a true friend, because that's one thing I had to learn. My view of friendship and your view of friendship might be two different things. So that's fine. I just can't be your friend because you think friendships work in a totally different way than I do, and they don't click. So we can't be friends. I will see you on Facebook, girl, and I will like your pictures. That's the most I can do with a friend like that. And I talked about gaslighting and manipulation. That's something I'm going to focus a lot on in this podcast, because it happens throughout your life, and it starts so young and you don't even know it. And when you've grown, if you're not educated on it, you don't know it. You might think you're tripping. You really might think you're crazy. You really believe this person, or let this person warp your view of what reality was. And so I'm going to give you the definition. I gave it on the podcast too, but I'll just give it here. I said, gaslighting is used to describe a person, a gaslighter, who presents a false narrative to another group or person, which leads them to doubt their perception and become misled, generally for the gaslighter's own benefit. And so I've experienced that with friends. I've had people I had a friend that she was telling a third party, one of our other friends, different stories about stuff that happened between me and her, and was bringing up all this conflict me and her were having and stuff like that. And then she was saying that this is why, we weren't as close right now and all this kind of stuff. And I didn't know any of that was going on. So when we fell out about something else, that kind of stuff fell out, because I was so upset and I didn't understand, because what we fell out was about birthday party that was supposed to be in hers, but it was at her friend house, and she didn't know the address. It was a whole bunch of, it's not your party. But she was trying to get mad at us. Well, she did get mad at us because we didn't come to her party, even though it wasn't hers. And I confronted her about it, and I was like, what's going on with you? We told her happy birthday, and she didn't respond to the next day, talking about she didn't want nobody to mess up her mood. How are we gonna mess up your mood as your friends telling you happy birthday? We was asking her where you want to go out to eat, what you want to do, because going out to eat was our thing. We can go out, it don't have to be for my birthday. What are you talking about? What is wrong with you? So I can't deal, if you're my friend, I can't really deal with a whole bunch of wishy-washy, weird behavior, because I went through it in my 20s and I'm not doing it in my 30s. So I can only look past it for like an hour or two. It bothers me. I can't put it past me, because you can't present yourself as my friend but then get upset about something and not talk to me directly about it. You want to play this little temper tantrum, throw shade type stuff. We don't do that. Me and my girls don't move like that, and you're not going to be the one to start that little trend. We're not doing it. So I sent her an email, asked her, what's going on with you? Like, why you been tripping? Her response, oh my goodness, I can't believe you saying this. Somebody else must have told you something. She kept bringing up other people, and I'm like, I listed 3 different reasons I'm telling you how you acted towards me that brought me to the conclusion that I'm at. Why do you keep bringing in other people? I said you had to be talking about me to other people. So fast forward, that was the end of our friendship. Fast forward 6 months. No, let me rewind it. That was the end of the friendship. So because the friendship ended on such a weird term for me, I'm venting to our other friend, one that she was living with. And I was just like, I just don't get it. And after about 2 or 3, 4 days of me venting and talking to our friend, she just broke down. She was like, girl, okay, I didn't want to be the one to say this. She was like, but I think she's mad because she said there was a time that she was supposed to spend the night at your house and you came and picked her up. And then your boyfriend at the time called and said he didn't want her there, so you took her back. to her dorm and y'all didn't hang out. I was like, what? First of all, I knew what night she was talking about because I did pick her up. She did spend the night at my house. At the time, I was dealing with a sorry dude, and he worked down the street at the strip club, so he got off at like 4 a.m. He knew her. We was a happy family at one point. When he called, I was like, yeah, you can come through the night and stay here tonight. She's here. I gotta block out her name. I said, you can stay tonight, but she's still here. I mean, I done threw myself off. So I said, you can stay tonight, but my friend is here. And so he decided not to come. Okay. And it irritated me because I wanted to spend time with him. You know how it is when you're dealing with a no good. You just try to catch them when you can. And whenever they free, you try to be free. And so, I was irritated with him because of that. So I didn't wake her up. I didn't tell her. Like I said, it was 4 o'clock in the morning. I go back to sleep. The next day, she asked me where he was at. Like, did he come? And I told her no, and how he had got on my nerves because he was just acting funny because she was there. So I didn't know she took all this offense to it till later on. But either way, that's what happened. And it pissed me off because, like, when my homegirl told me the version that she told her, it pissed me off because what was the reason for that? Besides trying to make me look fucked up. That's all it is. And why do you want to do that? I have no idea. At the time, I had no idea. So I was like, it don't matter how long me and her have been friends. Once she exposed her character as being a liar, you're just a liar because that didn't happen. You changed what happened. You know what I mean? And I know that wasn't reality. So the fact is, you just try to make me look bad. Boom. Fast forward 6 months. She graduates from college. And we haven't been talking since the birthday thing. She calls me and she gives this whole monologue about how she wants the people that mean the most to her to be there and putting differences aside. And I let her get it all out. I literally was sitting there like this, letting her get this whole monologue out. And after she got it out, I told her, I was like, I appreciate the invitation, but I'm going to have to respectfully decline on the basis of, I found out you've been talking about me. Like, I literally said it like that. And she puts on this dramatic voice, because now I know she is. Now I know when you doing a lot. And I know when you putting on. So, oh my goodness, oh my God, what are you talking about? I thought we weren't talking because of a birthday party. And so I proceeded to tell her the different stories that I done brought up randomly to my homegirl, just in some reminiscing type stuff. And my homegirl always got a different version of what she had told her. So I ran her down the stories, and she was saying, no, that's not what I said, this, that, and other. You didn't hear my side. You gotta hear my side. I said, I don't need to hear your side. I said, your side is the side you told her. I was there. It's nothing for you to tell me. I was there. So don't try to repaint it now, because I ain't gonna lie. She did try to flip it like, no, because that did happen because I had to call so-and-so. She like that had got me. But the thing is, I just remember, because I remembered our follow-up conversation a few weeks later when she said that she wasn't happy with my ex because of how he did it, and was like that, we supposed to be like family. Like, he ain't my most favorite person in the world right now. So you're not going to convince me that didn't happen. I remember specifically because I was pissed off, and only because he did it 2 times. It was with her and it was with another friend. So you can't convince me that I really took you home and all this kind of stuff. No, you could tell a third party that wasn't there anything you want. But what you're not going to do, but what you're trying to do, is gaslight me. I'm not going to allow that. I didn't even know the term for gaslighting at the time. But I knew that, girl, I knew that didn't happen. I know that every time I bring up this different random memories, that my homegirl was like, that ain't what happened. And so for your defense to be, you're going to believe somebody that hasn't known you long as me, that don't mean shit. Okay? And for your other defense to be is, you're not hearing my side. Let me say my side. You have no side. The side you had is the side you told my girl or our girl. So it's not gonna fly. And that turns into the next thing I discussed in the podcast was manipulation. So what we ended up realizing was that she was basically trying to manipulate our homegirl that she was living with for free. So she was trying to paint the picture that me and her wasn't cool like that because she didn't want our homegirl that was letting her stay with her for free to put her out. She liked that little situation and she didn't want to also do a 2-bedroom. She'll sleep on the couch for free. And we were full grown women. So you'd rather sleep on your homegirl couch than just get a 2-bedroom. And it's not even like you would stay on her couch and still giving her $200, $100. Nope. Just using up the situation and talking junk about me in the meantime to make herself seem like a victim. So that's part of what this podcast is about. That's part mainly what this podcast is about, to talk about our life experiences, so the next person knows what to look out for. Do you have a friend that kind of be changing stories around and you was there but she telling you something else happened that didn't happen and it's really trying to convince you to the point where you start checking your own self? Girl, it's not you. It's not you. She's trying to play you. That's all that is. And we're not doing it. We're not allowing that, and we're checking it. And so, let's see. I spoke about cutting off toxic people and not just letting people slide just because they friends or long-term friends or family. Like I said, her defense kept saying, long as we known each other. Well, girl, long as we known each other, why have you been talking about me behind my back? And that was another thing I said to her. So I was bringing up a scenario and she was just like, I was like, so why did you say this or this? She was like, well, you was going through it with your ex at the time and I just didn't know how to say anything. I said that day I was going through something with him for a moment. You felt the way you felt before that moment and after that moment. The fact that you kept going to our homegirl with no intentions of coming to me about it, that's talking about me behind my back. That's the only way to look at it. You was never going to come to me as a friend just to see how I felt, what I was going through, tell me what's on your mind. You just want to keep talking about it to her and crying to her like I'm doing you wrong. That's talking about me behind my back, girl. Like, no. What you're not going to do is call it something else. I spoke about friends that consistently cross your boundaries. Consistently. You say you don't want to go out, they begging you to go out. You say, okay, I'm going to go out, but I want to leave the club at 12 o'clock. They forcing you to stay to 2. All right, force you to stay to 2. Then you say, okay, I got to get straight home because I do got to work in the morning. I only have this amount of sleep at this point. But then they want to go to Waffle House. So that's small, but that's something a lot of us have been through. So that's why I use that as an example, because it's relatable. Especially when you're in your 20s, you're young, you still partying and stuff like that. Like, yeah, girl, we can party. I want to party, but I also got a job. And once you start taking work serious, you switch over from just being the party all the time in your 20s to, okay, girl, I got bills and I got a job, and that comes first. All your friends don't be on the same wave at the same time as you. Or if your friend don't have to work tomorrow, she might not care. And that's the friend you got to watch out for, because just because you don't have to work tomorrow or something's not affecting you don't mean that you can just not care about what I got going on. You can't respect what I got a job. I need some rest. So if it don't affect you, you're unbothered. So you don't want those kind of friends. Let's see. Taking accountability. So that's the next thing. You have to learn when it's you and when it's not the other person. We are not perfect. We have to understand when we are the toxic one, or we're the one with the attitude for no reason, because it happens. And you, even when you feel some type of way, like, oh, let's say you one of those girls that you feel left out when you look on the gram and you see your friend out with her other group of friends and that you don't know, and then it's like, oh, no invite. You can't be like that, because everybody don't mix, and that's why she didn't invite you. It's no shade, but girl, I can't invite you around these group of girls because you got a little attitude problem, or you like to say slick stuff and she like to fight. So I can't put y'all in the same room together, because that's not a good time for me as the middle friend. And just for example, it was that time of the month for me one time, and me and my friends was hanging out, and they started messing with me, and they took my keys, and they was just not giving them back to me. When I say I was hot to the point where I'm yelling at them, and I left. Like, when I got them keys back, I straight left. We had a whole day planned. We were supposed to hang out. I left. And so when I got home, it was like, I knew that, okay, Keita, you kind of took it. You took it there like they was playing. I knew they were playing. Like, I knew they was playing. It wasn't shade or anything. They was playing. And so later on that day, I had to text my people like, my bad, y'all. I'm just, up here, down. I'm up and down. I'm having the mood swings. I'm going to stay away until I can regulate myself and my mood. So he was like, yeah, because my best friend is a guy. So he was like, yeah, because you was tripping. Oh, just leave me alone. You shouldn't have took my keys either way. So, but no, seriously, take accountability. And sometimes you have to hold friends accountable. And you can't be scared to do that if you want a genuine, real friendship. And that also tests to see who your real friends is. I can't be friends with somebody who can't take accountability, because what you're going to do is keep trying me and acting like you don't know you trying me, and it's going to keep happening. So you can't apologize when you don't know what you apologizing for. And we too old. We too old for you to be playing naive, and I didn't know, I didn't realize. I ain't trying to hear that. You knew what you did. You know what you said. And if you don't want to admit your intentions behind it, I'll don't make me assume. I'll put what I felt like you was doing, and you don't want that. So, I also talked about being a good friend and showing up for your friends and celebrating your friends. Stuff like sharing posts. I know people talk about it all the time. It does actually make a difference. Like, I'm starting out with something, a new endeavor, and I'm making my little promo posts and stuff like that, and I got the friends that share. I don't expect everyone to share it every time. It would be nice. It would be nice, because that helps, especially when you got friends that have different networks that you could be tapping into. But I don't expect anybody to do anything, but I do try to support my friends. Like, if I see a post, my friend selling something, I'll try to repost it out to my page or my community group. I'll just try to get the word out, or just to show support. Leave a comment, because it means a lot to that person. I like looking on people's stuff, and you see 3 shares, 6 shares. My cousin had texted me the other day, because she started a boutique, and I woke up to a text from her. She was like, share my post when you wake up. And it's like, I've shared her post before, but she had a special one because she was having a sale. She was like, share my post when you get up. And I was like, okay. And I was saying something about tagging her friends, so it'll show up on there. She was like, oh no. She said they automatically share. I was like, oh wow, dang girl. I was like, I'm jealous. And she was like, yeah girl, I got some good friends. And I was like, and that's what's up. That is genuine support. They want to see you win. Not saying my friends want to see me lose, but it makes a difference. I had a friend that I was like, girl, write something. Like, because most people, when they reshare my stuff, especially like if it's a story or video, they was like, or a snippet from this, they would say something. Oh, my new podcast, my friend started a podcast, and she was just resharing it. So it's like, girl, I can't reshare. It look like I'm posting the same thing 3 times. So, but it does, and I'm new to this, so I'm trying to make sure I got the thick skin, and I try to make sure when I do feel some type of way about something, I also check myself and say, they don't have to do anything. Like, my friends are not required to do anything. So when they do, I do appreciate it. And you have to be grateful for that. Okay, we talked about, and the next one was standards. And we focused on the leveling up lifestyle and self-assessment. We usually do a lot of self-assessments in the standards portion. But it started with affirmations. I feel like affirmations are like a positive reinforcement to just the negative things we encounter throughout the day and in the world, on the news and relationships, text message, bad news, negative social media, stuff like that. And I feel like positive affirmations and music just put me in a different vibe of, I can do this, I am that girl, I am confident, I am beautiful. And I wasn't always confident. I was picked on a lot for being skinny my whole life. I'm still skinny, but I've grown to accept it and love it. And I feel like I went through a phase of it was like my life phases with my self-esteem was low self-esteem for most of my life because I got picked on, especially up into college. Then after college, it wasn't low. I don't know if I could say it was high, but it wasn't low. It gradually got higher, and I had high I could say I had a higher self-esteem. Yeah, because it went from me holding my head down to being able to walk with my head high. So I will say I had a higher self-esteem, but now I have confidence. So now I'm walking in my purpose. It's like it's opened up a new me. I no longer care about what people say. I'm not thinking about what people are going to think about me. When I had lower self-esteem, it's like when I was in college and I had low self-esteem, I would dress up like I normally dress, like I always been a heel girl and stuff like that. But I would walk the long way around campus instead of going the short way where everybody is, because I would think everybody was talking about me. And it took me a long time to realize, like, girl, ain't nobody thinking about you. Ain't nobody thinking about you. But it took me a while to get there because I was also dealing with a guy at the time that he wasn't good for my self-esteem. He really wasn't. And I say that because who I was is not the type of girl he wanted. You want a hood chick. You want a Jordan wearing chick. But you dating a heel girl. And instead of just getting with a hood chick, you put me down for being a heel wearing chick. So it's like I already had low self-esteem. I already wasn't sure of myself. Now the person that I love and care about is telling me that they not happy with who I am. So it just sent me through a lot of it was a lot of self-hate, a lot of self-doubt. And I never want to be there again because I was so low. And I wasn't aware of like mental health and all that kind of stuff at the time. I just knew that I wasn't happy. I only like two things about myself, and that was my feet and the fact that I could make people laugh. And at the time, I didn't have people or a person to love me enough to tell me I was beautiful the way I was. And it hurt. It did. And it took a while. It took a good friend of mine to get me out of that place. And that was a homegirl. She's like a sister to me still to this day. Let's see. We talked about focusing on traits that you want in a partner, but positive traits, because sometimes the things we are attracted to aren't good for us. They just aren't. Back in the day when you want the bad boy and you want him to have money and you don't care if he sell drugs to get it or whatever, or scam, baby girl, that don't work out the best for you. You could end up taking charges for him, stuff like that. You could end up losing yourself trying to run behind him, and then when he go off with the next chick or go to jail or whatever he does with himself, where are you? What are you stuck with? Nothing. Like, you done cut your friends off. You've been mentally abused, probably financially abused, because you wanted him for the wrong reasons. You want a dude that's all tough and aggressive and a fighter, but then be surprised if he hit you. Not saying every dude is like that, but I'm just saying if you want an aggressive dude, because I've had a friend say that before. Oh, I want to do this like this, and that, and you want him to be so rough and tough, but then when he turned that on you, you was in a bad spot. And so think about the consequences to some of these traits. Everything is not going to end up perfect. You want a dude that's a scammer, but you don't realize you can go to jail with him. It ain't just about the Louis bags. So you have to think about it. And when we're young and you live in the fast life and you think about right now, you don't actually think about the consequences to the vibe that y'all had when y'all was in his Lambo and he had just took you to the mall and bought you bags. You don't know that the Fed's been watching him. You don't know that he just cleared out some old lady bank account for that bag. And then another thing we talked about was sneaky links ain't sneaky. Sneaky links ain't sneaky. You can get exposed so many ways. You can catch feelings for your sneaky link. You can mess around and look on Facebook one day and he got a whole girlfriend, wife, baby, or whatever. Now you feel played because where did she come from? Like, I didn't know you was taking anything serious. I thought we was just sneaky linking and playing it cool and casual. So I told the story on the podcast of how I got exposed with my sneaky link. It wasn't anything bad, but I was messing with a dumb dude and I didn't want people to know. Like, I didn't. I was too good for him. I knew I was too good for him, but I was going through something in my life, going through some personal stuff. So I let myself deal with this dumb dude, but I didn't want people to know. But he kept popping up. It's like, you're exposing me. He would pop up at my mama's house at 9 o'clock in the morning. He popping up with my family there. Just, oh, you want to see me? I didn't ask to see you. So stuff like that, child. Sneaky links ain't always sneaky. And I don't know if I said this already here, but we would talk about not sending nudes. You don't send nudes because you don't know if y'all gonna break up. You don't know if somebody's gonna go through his phone. He could be messing with another chick. They go through his phone. Now your titty's on Facebook. You don't want to be that girl. His homeboy could use his phone, send that to his own phone. Your dude could put it in the group chat. Revenge porn, everything. Like, don't send nudes. And if you do just have to send nudes, don't put your face in them. Don't. So that was pretty much the gist of the past two podcasts. Now, I didn't give y'all everything in it because y'all need to go tune in. So like I said, it's streaming on Spotify, Anchor, Apple, and Amazon Music. It's the Whole Lotta Woman Podcast. Okay, the Whole Lotta Woman Podcast. So please check us out. Also, follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I will put those in the description below. I thank you so much for tuning in. I cannot wait to embark on this YouTube journey along with my podcast journey. It's all new. It's all new, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see what it holds. I got some YouTubers I would love to work with in the future. I'm not going to say no names, but I got my list, and hopefully this does, you know what? I'm not going to say hopefully. I know this will grow to be something great, because what's bad about being a whole lot of women? What's bad about having beauty, brain, strength, and standards? You tell me. Nothing. Okay? So I look forward to seeing you guys in the future, and I love you all. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Whole Lotta Woman Podcast. And it's me, Nikita Chantel.
I won't be defined. Stars are aligned. What's for me is mine. I'm a whole lot of woman. I'm a whole lot of. I've been refined.